Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is June 28th, better known as Ultrasound Day.
Yay!
Second ultrasound we've had.
Yes.
Got a blood test done to see whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. They can do that now.
It's crazy.
At like 8 weeks or something?
10 weeks.
10 weeks, and we are at 15?
13?
13? I don't know, man. I'm a dude. I don't pay attention to this stuff.
I don't know. Y'all don't know. You're just like, I don't know, call me when you're in labor.
Call me when the baby's done, when I can play catch with it. All right. We've got a big show for you today. A lot of stuff to cover.
Oh my gosh. It's been so long since we did a podcast.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Mostly, yeah. Molly's tired all the time.
Oh, okay. I was just blaming it on you. But if you'll take the blame, then go ahead.
Yeah, I'm cool. It's my bad.
Yeah, we got news with Gronkowski. We haven't covered it. And
oh my gosh.
We got some news around the league. And also, I'm going to talk about last season. Ralph did a thing.
We love living in the past here.
Well, you know,
Buccaneers Observer.
Most sports people live in the future. Isn't it weird?
True.
They're always talking about what they think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Not us, man. We talk about what happened. Oh, well, if you're not aware, which everybody has covered this by now, every which way to Sunday, Rob Gronkowski put out a statement saying that he is retiring from the NFL and he will not play with the Buccaneers for the 2022 season.
It shocked me. I really thought he was coming back.
I did too.
Or at least like he'd, play coy until preseason, basically.
Yes.
So now I just feel like we're kind of in a lurch at tight end. Like, this is a problem.
Yeah, we've only got one tight end that's caught any NFL passes, and that's Cameron Brate.
Yeah.
We got the two rookies that we drafted, or we picked up.
Cade Otton
and Kokeeft.
It's
a cool name. Kokeeft.
One of them, I think he looks like a leprechaun. We got another one.
Yeah, he'll fit in good with Grant Stewart and Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got six tight ends on the roster right now. Cameron Brate, Cade Otton, Kokeeft, Cody McElroy, Ben Beasley, and J.J. Howland. Four of them are rookies.
Cody McElroy was on practice squad a lot of last year, and I think he may have moved up a couple times. He was okay. He was all right. I'm a big Cam Brate fan. I've always liked Cam Brate. I think he's solid.
Yeah, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
No.
Especially in the red zone, man. He's top notch.
Always reliable in the red zone. Is he a tight end number one? When you go from Gronk, it's hard to make that assertion.
Yeah.
That he's a tight end number one. But, when it was between him and OJ, I was on the Cam Brate train the whole time.
Well, you just did not like OJ Howard.
No. And I mean, at the Bills.
Justifiably, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do there. I don't know. It makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, I'm like you. It really did shock me. I thought for sure he was coming back. And, there's people out there saying that he's pulling a Tom Brady. He's just going to say he's retired and then come back.
They can't both do that. Come on, guys. Stop it.
Well, that doesn't make any sense to me because there's no reason for him to do that. Brady was under contract. Gronkowski's not under contract. So it's not like he's got to say, I'm retiring in order to skip practice.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
He can do what he wants.
And I'll say this. He didn't seem like he had really enjoyed playing last year. He got beat up a lot. He always does. He's just a big guy. And he doesn't go down easy. And he takes some shots. And normally, it takes 2, 3, 4 guys to drag him down. And it just seems like last year he just didn't have that fun and excitement. You see him, usually he's dancing on the sidelines and goofing off, and he just didn't, he would score, do his spike, and then go sit down on the bench.
And that's kind of what happened to him at New England. Mm-hmm. He got sick of getting injured.
Yeah. I think injuries are a big part of the reason why he doesn't want to play anymore. And, he took some big shots last year in that Saints game.
Yeah. What about the Rams? Didn't the Rams beat him up too? Was it the Rams game or the Saints game? I can't remember. But yeah, he had the rib shots, and he just, he's gotten injured a lot, but his injuries are like serious. Like they rebuild his arm. Like he's got that freaking robot arm. Back surgery. Like he's had 3 back surgeries. Mm-hmm. To me, I'm like, I can
one's enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I quit.
Like Peyton's neck. Like Peyton coming back after neck surgery.
Yeah. That was scary, man. Yeah. Well, you got JPP with the broke neck, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a freak though. So
yeah, I don't think Gronkowski's going to come back. Just seems like he's just over it.
Done.
And, he's made plenty of money. He's broken plenty of records. And he seems
one of the best tight ends to do it. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. He holds like 4 big records, like most touchdowns in a season, most touchdowns in a game, most touchdowns in the postseason, most touchdowns in Super Bowl, stuff like that. He's just got ridiculous stats. And he's been playing for 11 years? That's long enough.
Yeah.
That's long enough.
Yeah, I think so. And you play with Tom Brady and you have all these opportunities to break records. How many Super Bowl rings does he have? Probably 4.
I think he's got 4.
Yeah.
At least 3. Yeah.
How many people can say that? Very few. How many teams can say that? Yeah.
Very few.
He's got more than a lot of teams. So
more than the Buccaneers.
He's had a great career.
Yeah.
It does suck as a fan. He is fun to watch. He's so much fun.
Absolutely.
And it's
devastating.
hard. It's hard because, he is impossible to take down. He's so physical. But he's fun. He loves life, and he's an entertainer. This is entertainment.
That's my favorite.
Classic Gronk.
I love dinosaurs.
And the context of that is that they named a rhinoceros after him at the zoo. And he's going on about how rhinoceroses are kind of like dinosaurs.
And he's like, I love dinosaurs.
So.
And that's just so Gronk. Mm-hmm. Like a kid. I love dinosaurs. Right? He probably wears dinosaur footy pajamas.
He probably does. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, bummer.
Yeah, it really is. It's because I went through and I've rewatched all the games from last year, and we'll get into all that. But one of the big things that was immediate, that was a huge takeaway, is how much we've relied on Gronkowski. He, besides his blocking, which he's probably the best blocking tight end in the league. I could say that because I haven't watched all the tight ends, but all the tight ends I have watched, he's the best of all of them. But we just used him so much in the passing game too. He had quite a few games where he was over 100 yards, multiple touchdowns. You're like, oh man. And that's with Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Godwin.
I know.
If you could get 100 yards receiving with those 3 on the roster, good Lord.
I know. And he's such a huge weapon, and he is somebody that the defense has to account for.
Yeah.
So it does. It spreads them so thin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'd love to think he's, just hanging out and not, just put this out because he doesn't want to play or doesn't want to practice. But I think he's done. I think, he was like, give it some time, think about it. Brady probably told him, said, give it some time, think about it, get the partying out of your system. And he's just like, man, I just don't want to do it anymore. It hurts. It ain't worth it.
His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said he thinks he's going to come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably midway through the season. That's what he said.
That's the good thing about it is he could come back at any point and just fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't need the practice. He doesn't need. I don't even think he knows the playbooks, right? I mean, he said
Gronk catch ball.
Yeah, he
Gronk
said
block.
many a times that he lets Brady do all the thinking, and Brady just tells him what to do when he gets up to the line. And you can see it a couple times. Brady will yell at him or tell him to go over here or there or whatever. Brady gave him a lot of instructions at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't surprise me. He's just, Gronk catch ball. Gronk like dinosaurs.
Right. And what is so useful about a player like him, or what's good about training camp and practice is that you're building rapport with your teammates and your quarterback when you're in a receiving position. Gronk doesn't need that.
Not at all.
So,
yeah.
I mean, he can just... It's like riding a bike. Just step right back in.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. I didn't know about Drew Rosenhaus. That's that kind of makes me. I don't know, man. I just
don't see it.
I don't see it.
I don't know. I mean, when Tom Brady retired. I don't know. Am I rewriting history here? Now I feel like I was like, I don't feel like he's retired. Is he really?
No, we weren't like that at all. No, wait a minute.
Bummed.
No, I think we were, because I was like, he did it right after the season, and he's emotionally, so maybe he'll come back. I think we were like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
So now, we're sure about this.
That
he's done. I don't know. I know. Y'all go fact check us. We're just rewriting history here to make us look good.
Now, Gronkowski did miss the whole 2019 season because he retired, right?
Yeah. And then came back and won us a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was rested. That's kind of what I feel like. He needs some recovery time, some recoup time. I mean, it's just incredible to me that he could take a whole season off, come back, and still play the way that he did.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, he's just incredible.
Yeah, he had 7 touchdowns, 623 yards in 2020 when he came back to play with us, play with Tom, won the Super Bowl. So, that's something to think about. It just, I don't know. But here's the thing. We got rid of, or we didn't re-sign Suh. And we ended up getting Akeem Hicks to kind of replace him. One of the reasons why I was thinking we did that is because we needed the money for Gronkowski. We only had like $10 million, and that's about what Suh cost. Well, now we don't have to worry about Gronkowski. Are we going to go and get Suh back?
I don't think so. He tweeted, or I think he might have said in an interview, like, Bucs are probably not going to happen.
Yeah, he did say that. So he said it looked like they're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
But, anything could happen. I mean, we've got like $12 million in the cap. So, we got enough for a good player, a good veteran.
I think I saw where we were looking at Jimmy Graham. I wonder if that was just speculation.
Yeah, he's been
I know.
out
I'm just
for a
like,
while.
ugh, no, please.
He hasn't played for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I don't recall. Who was he with last?
Bears.
Seattle? Oh, the Bears. No, he's still.
Okay. Yeah, he's a free agent, and
yeah, he played with Chicago last year.
Yeah, he's being named as like a potential replacement.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, thank you. He was always injury prone in his prime.
Yes, he was.
He's not, honestly.
Yeah, he's never played a full 16-game season.
I know. Isn't that crazy? He's been in the league like 15 years.
11.
I don't know.
Same with Gronkowski.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not interested. Thank you. I mean, who knows? One of these rookie tight ends we got could pop off. They could be, go crazy.
Yeah.
You never know.
And like I said, 60-70% of our tight ends' responsibility is blocking. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Somebody that can block. Big guy, a body that can get in the way.
Yeah, there's one of, I want to say it's Kieft is like built like a lineman. Like he's huge. He just looked, even at the podium, he just looked like a lineman. So, I mean, we'll see. They're having training camp July 27th.
Yeah, O'Keefe is 6'5", 265 pounds.
Yeah, he's solid.
That's what's listed.
200, I'm sorry, how much?
265.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's a
Cade Oaten is same height, but he's 247 pounds, so he's 20 pounds lighter.
Wow.
So, tight end situation kind of up in the air right now. Cameron Brate, is he a number one tight end? Yeah, I think he is.
Sure.
I mean, he's not going to be Gronkowski, no. But
no one's going to be Gronkowski.
Right.
That's the problem.
We've had Cameron Brate start many a times, and he's always pulled through.
Yeah.
He's an underrated. He's a blue collar player, although he did go to an Ivy League school.
Went to Harvard. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, we've got a Harvard and a Yale on our team, right?
Who's from Yale?
One of the guys we got. Man.
Really?
You catch me with this.
I was going to say Fitzpatrick was Yale, but he was Harvard.
I swear it's one of the guys we drafted. Man.
Was it the punter?
Pinion?
Camarda? No, we cut Pinion.
Yeah, I know. I was getting ready to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. So that was another one that we lost. Everyone kind of saw that one coming. Pinion.
Punter was from
cut.
Georgia.
Okay. He was set to make like $3 million, $4 million. And so we got all that back. It was not dead money by cutting Pinion, thankfully. And we had drafted that guy in the 4th round, Jake Camarda. So we're going with Jake, I guess.
Well, Pinion was J.J. Howland, tight end. He's from Yale.
Oh, so
yes.
I didn't know we drafted another. So we drafted 3 tight ends? He must have known Gronk was not coming back.
I don't know. It's good.
Question?
Yes, good question. I got 5 things going on here. So Pinion, yeah, he really screwed himself, and we knew he was gone after that division game against the Rams. In that game, I will say this till I'm blue in the face. We lost that game. They didn't beat us, and I don't want to take it away from the Rams. They played a good game. They played pretty decent, mistake-free.
Spare their feelings.
But they did not beat us. That was not a beat down. That was not them going out there and outperforming us. They just didn't screw up as much as we did. We shot ourselves in the foot. I counted, 22, 23 unforced errors on our part. They had 3, 4. 2 of them were huge, and they were both Pinion when he kicked the ball out of bounds on the kickoffs twice.
So that's a 40-yard penalty. They start on the 40-yard line. Was a 15-yard penalty, really.
But yeah, I mean, that's huge. When you're playing a game like that, you can't make 2 huge mistakes.
No. Twice.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I was like, the writing's on the wall. He's gone.
Yeah.
I think we even talked about it after the game. That was the last kick Pinion will ever do for us. So they got rid of him. They drafted his replacement. So we'll see how it goes.
Specialists are so hard. See, I still remember Connor Barth, who I loved in the 2009, 2010 era, and he got hurt, and we just cut it. It was kind of a welcome to the NFL fandom, where you have these specialists, the punter, the kicker, and you like them, and then they just get cut and they're gone.
Yes.
It's a cutthroat position.
It really is. And the unicorns are the ones that stay with teams for any length of time. Yeah. You've got the Vinatieri's, but
he's still in the league, isn't he?
No, he retired.
Like a year or
two. Yeah, I want to say last year. But, he was with 2 teams for a long time, Colts and the Patriots. But
he with the Titans too?
I don't know. Matt Bryant. He's been with Atlanta forever. Yeah. Or was.
Janikowski.
Yeah, Janikowski with the Raiders. But really, that's about it, man. I mean, when it comes to kickers and punters, they get churned out every year.
Yeah.
And it's
the
so
NFL
weird.
has no patience for it.
No. It's so weird because they'll, a punter or kicker would just do horrible at, like, say, Chicago. And so they'll cut him. And then, like, Arizona will pick him up. And you're like, why? What is it? It's just like a merry-go-round, Mm-hmm. And then he'll do good at Arizona until he doesn't, and then they'll cut him, and he'll go somewhere else, and he'll do good there for a while, and then he'll have some screwed-up games. They'll cut him. It's a weird thing. It seems like you would go, wait a minute, if he's not good there, why do we think he's going to be good here? But it seems to work with the special teams guys. It's like they just need a new environment or something.
I think so much of it is mental and nerves.
Yeah.
Because their craft, it's just based on muscle memory. I mean, not just, but a lot of it is muscle memory. I mean, they're making these kicks hundreds of times. And
very precise. It's like golf. Just a little tweak here and there can really screw up your game. And if your brain ain't in it and you're off just a little bit, you're going to have devastating consequences.
Yeah. So we will see how Jake does. I'm not a big fan of the drafting these positions. I don't know if like Aguayo I have like.
Yeah, at least he didn't get him in the second round. What was he? He was like a fourth or fifth rounder, wasn't he? No.
Yeah, he was a fourth rounder.
Fourth round.
For a punter. I'm just like, oh, I don't love that.
Light rolling dice again.
I know.
Let's do this.
Well, I think we're more forgiving at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. He could draft he could have a whole punter draft and everybody would be like, okay, we'll give him a year or so.
It's a kicker year.
Yeah. So, two mainstays from our team are gone. Actually, if you round it all up, we've lost quite a few guys this year. Some key players: JPP, Suh, Gronkowski, Kappa. What's his face? Left guard. Marpet. He could say Antonio Brown if you want to. Whitehead.
Wow, you're right. I don't love this, but you know what? It's bittersweet because every year you kind of go through this churn, and Buccaneers fans, we've experienced this churn probably more than most because of, new coaching staffs every 2 years. So you always get where they got to bring in their guys and you're losing half the team. We got spoiled in 2020 because we didn't lose anybody. We won the Super Bowl. We had this incredible transformation of the team. Won the Super Bowl, didn't lose anybody. So we had the same team for 2 years. Second year did not go the way that we wanted it to. So I think the norm is the churn.
Yes.
And we just, that 1 year.
Got spoiled with it.
We got spoiled. So.
Yeah. We also lost O.J. Howard and Ronald Jones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So,
that is a lot of people.
Yeah. Some guys that have been on our team for quite a while. Normally, I think it's between 30 and 40% of teams churn every year. That's about average, about between 30 and 40%, and every starters anyhow. So we're probably at about that right now.
Well, at 30-40% of your starters, it's 3-4 on the offense, 3-4 on the defense, 3-4 special teams.
Sure.
Would you consider that?
No.
Starter? Well, we did lose Whitehead when he started on special teams.
Yeah, he's all right. But we did keep some guys. We kept a lot of the guys that we needed to keep. Will Golston, Chris Godwin, Carlton Davis, Ryan Jensen, Fournette, Josh Wells. Got to keep him.
Well, and I think that we made some upgrades and, we brought some additions. And so can't hurt.
Yeah,
particularly I'm thinking of Logan Hall. Mm-hmm. I like that veteran presence in the backfield.
Logan Ryan.
That's what I meant.
I'm excited about Shaq Mason.
Yeah.
Not
to say that he's like an upgrade over Kappa, but
no, I think he is.
You think so?
Okay. Yeah, I said that.
All right.
I said that
cool.
At the ending of last year, and probably throughout the year.
Yeah.
Kappa was the weak link on our offensive line. Mm-hmm. Now, he wasn't horrible, but he was the weakest link.
I loved Kappa because
he's tough.
Tough. Broke his arm.
Yeah.
Trying to get back on the field. Broke his ankle. Like, could not stand on the ankle. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to go back in.
Yeah.
Like, he was about to go in there with the peg leg, guys.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of that Jensen attitude where, he would pancake you, he'd drive you down, he'd get up in your face after the play. So I'm excited to see Shaq Mason. The little bit of film I've watched on him, he's very, very solid, but he's very fast too. I mean, he's kind of a squat guy, kind of.
Oh, really?
He's not as tall and big as Kappa was. Kind of more stout.
Interesting.
More like Morpet, I guess. But he's very, very solid. I mean, he did get beat, and he was great in the run game and with pulling, which was very surprising. He did not look like he had any speed, but he could get out there and lay some pretty good blocks on guys in open space. And
he's one of Tom Brady's guys.
Yeah. He's played with Tom Brady before. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Akeem Hicks, I don't really know. I really don't. I mean, the Bears fans loved him. They say he brought a lot of passion to the team. So, I think we got him to replace both JPP and Suh. I think
that's a great theory.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that makes the most sense.
Yeah, because, JPP brought the oomph. He terrified everybody, on the opposing team and on our team and the coaching staff. He was just a monster out there and in the locker room. And I think, Akeem Hicks is going to bring a little bit of that. But they did say, I can't remember which podcast it was, and I hate this. Anyhow, sorry guys, can't give you credit for it. But they played a clip of Bruce Arians, like right after the season, back when they were still doing press conferences. And he was talking about we need more speed up the middle on defense. And I was like, well, there it is. That's why we're not getting Suh. Mm-hmm. I mean, Suh's not slow for as big as he is. Mm-mm. But, he's not known for being fast. I mean, he'll chase you down. Mm-hmm. But
he's more of a run stuffer.
Yeah. He's more of a powerhouse, man.
Yeah.
And so, Akeem Hicks, I think, we're trying to get more speed up the middle, more pressure on the quarterback. That's what Bowles loves. And we also needed to replace that locker room presence of JPP. So I think Akeem Hicks, and plus, he was cheaper unless we go to the Super Bowl, and then he's going to be, like $8 million, $10 million, something like that. But then it's okay. You're like, all right, we'll pay you if we're going to take us to the Super Bowl.
Well, and he's got to play a full season, right? And that part of us.
Yeah.
I will be interested to see what kind of compliment he is to Vita.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing. Vita and Suh just had such a great relationship.
I know. It's sad.
Yeah, and they worked together so well. And probably one of my favorite football moments was when Suh tackled, I want to say it was Drew Brees by the ankle, or he missed it.
Stafford in Detroit.
In Detroit? Mm-hmm. Can't remember who it was.
It was a dome.
But he like barely got hold of his foot, and then somebody he was going down and somebody tackled him, and Suh wasn't going to get credit for the tackle or for the sack. And Vita's standing over top of him while Suh's laid on the ground, and Vita's just cracking up. And Suh rolled over on his back. They were both laughing.
Vita was pointing and laughing.
Yeah, he was pointing at him and laughing. Yeah. And Vita nicknamed Suh Big Girl, like the first day of training camp when Suh first got there.
No, I would love to know the origin of that nickname. We'll never know.
You could hear him all the time calling him "big girl."
Big girl.
Come here, big girl.
I think everybody ended up calling Sue that.
But Vita never really sat with Sue on the bench. You know, Sue had his spot down at the end on the right-hand side as you're facing the field. And he had that throne sitting down there, and he always had a gaggle of people sitting around him. Golston being the number one, Golston was like his right-hand man there. Vita always sat further down the thing. It was like they didn't sit together. Mm-hmm. But they seem to have a really good relationship. And it's going to be interesting to see if Akeem Hicks. Now, who I think is going to have a great relationship with him is Nacho. Because Nacho is the shit talker out there. And Nacho just has a lot of fun. And Akeem Hicks seems to be that way. Mm. The clips I've seen of him on like Mic'd Up, he's a huge shit talker. So,
I love that.
And everybody said that Nacho's like that. He's very... and Kevin Minter is like supposedly wasn't he the one everybody voted is the nicest on defense, or
like they like him the best, who's the top people? Did we re-sign him?
No, we have not yet.
But he might come like right before training camp.
Yeah.
Because we got all this extra cash. Mm-hmm. We got some cash.
Right now that if Gronkowski's not coming back and they're pretty sure of it, they could spend this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saving it for him. So it's going to be interesting. So we've got JPP, Sue, Gronkowski, Richard Sherman. He's not coming back. He's going to Amazon, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to be. Speaking of which, Aqib Talib is going to Amazon too. Man, they are just sucking up everybody.
And Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, Kevin Minter. He's still unsigned. Steve McClendon, he's probably not coming back. Andrew Adams, he's still unsigned, which got kind of,
yeah, he's there. One of those bubble guys. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Like we signed Logan Ryan, so I don't.
Yeah. And Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, we only had him for a while. But
he's gonna have a boxing career.
That's right. Him and Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson,
yes,
really?
Adrian Peterson. And
I'm not going to say what I want to say about that one.
She's going to beat him like his kid. Is that what you were going to say?
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're supposed to fight here soon, like July.
Are they going to fight each other?
Yeah.
Oh, are they even in the same weight class?
I don't know.
Like Adrian Peterson's just such a solid...
He just seems big.
He's a thick boy. And Le'Veon Bell just doesn't seem that
July.
Big.
They're going to fight on ESPN. And is
it for charity?
Of course. It's an exhibition slated July 30. Crypto.com. It's sponsoring it.
Okay, they're sponsoring all these.
They're sponsoring, all the UFC, everything. It's like, man, they must have done their marketing budget way in advance because the way crypto has crashed. Mm-hmm. They're probably sitting there going, "Oh, that was a big mistake." So let me see. It's he's going to. Apparently him and Frank Gore?
What? Yeah, he just retired.
Frank Gore and Deron Williams did a match in December.
Oh.
At the undercard of the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley match. Huh. Yes, I don't remember that.
Me neither. Yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. They don't have a date. No, July 30th.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get to see.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
It'll be fun. Adrian Peterson's going to go in there, bring a belt or a stick, and just start beating on him.
Stop. Oh my gosh. Terrible.
Yeah. I wouldn't fight Adrian Peterson. I mean, he's a machine, man.
Yeah.
He's like in Rocky, what was it, Rocky 4? He's a machine.
There's something different about getting punched in the face than like getting hit on a field.
Get your knees blown out. And, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, so I watched the whole season again, and there's some really fascinating stuff from it. One thing is, again, talk about being spoiled. I just do not remember how much we whooped so many teams' butts. I mean, we dominated so many teams last year.
It is strange how fast we became accustomed to winning.
I know. I mean, like 70% of our games, we scored over 30 points.
Like 3 years ago, guys, we were like 7-9, and
yeah,
you know, 4 years ago, I think.
Right. Not even sniffing the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the Dallas game, it starts off, you know, that one, I really expected us to just manhandle them. That was a closer game than it should have been, I think. But then the Falcons, both times we played them, just destroyed them. So, I mean, scored 48 points on them the second in week 2.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Then the Rams, they beat us, of course. The Patriots, we beat them. You know, it wasn't much of a issue there. Then the Dolphins, we just curb stomped them. The Eagles curb stomped them. Bears curb stomped them. Then the Saints. Them jerks. You know, they just but then let me see, the Redskins, they ended up beating us. That was a fluke. Then the Giants curb stomped them. The Colts, we did a really good job with the Colts. And I mean, they played a good game, very solid.
That was a good game, but it was tough.
Right. But we did a really good job of shutting down what's it, Jonathan?
Howard. Yeah, Jonathan Howard.
No.
But he's still
running back?
Oh, yeah. Is that who you're talking about?
Is that his name? Howard, is it?
I don't remember. I think so.
Huh. That's going to freak me out.
Okay, hold on. I'll look it up.
Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
It's like Howard. He used to play for the Bears. Okay, so, you know, we beat them. Then we played the Falcons game, just stomped them. I mean, we curb stomped so many teams. And it's not like, you know, we beat them by, you know, a touchdown. We were beating these people by 20 points.
Yeah.
You know? Then the Bills, you know, that was a close one. Went in overtime. A beautiful game. That was a really awesome game. And then the Saints again, 0-9. 0-9. Shutout. Here we are. We're scoring 35 points a game, like on average. I think it was, at that point, I think it was like 32 points a game average. Then we go in there and get shut out by the Saints. What is it with them?
Yeah, out of nowhere, too. And was that a Thursday night game?
Yeah, I think it was a Halloween game. No. It was December 19th.
No.
Sunday night game. Night game. Yeah.
Prime time.
Yep. So then we go and we play the Panthers. Oh, my God, just beat up on them. That was an embarrassment. Both times we played them. They're a bad team. And they really are. And they didn't do anything this year. I don't know what they're thinking. I really, the way they're acting, they think they're set. You know, and they're a bad team.
I just wonder if the owner is like betting against the team.
Well, you know, that's how he made his money.
I don't know.
Hedge fund manager, shorting company.
Yeah. Is he shorting the Panthers?
Wow. That's a good thing. Then we played the Jets. It was a closer game. And the Jets, again, I'm going to say this. Jets are a good team. You know, they started off rough, but by the time we were playing them, that game they played against, I was really, really impressed watching them.
Listen, and that division is like wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills, but they don't have it wrapped up necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You know, Miami looks like they're really trying to be something there. And the Jets, I think, are a very, 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 very solid team. I don't know. I'm the only one I hear saying that. Matter of fact, most everybody I see had the Jets down at like 32. And
I know.
I'm just like, I don't get it. I mean, I was just very impressed with how good they played.
Well, you know, it's easy to say, oh, hey, I think the Jets are going to suck next season.
Yeah.
Because, they've sucked for a long time.
Quite a few teams you could do that with.
Yeah,
Browns,
you're going out on a limb. I know, the
Jaguars.
fucking Browns. You, though, sir, are going out on a limb here.
I don't know. Just, watching them, they just didn't make mistakes. And that's what I look at. I look at teams that make mistakes. I mean, you get these guys, you get teams that have star players on them, and man, they could do some stuff, but they make a lot of mistakes. But then they overcome it while having these great athletes on their team and stuff. But the Jets, man, they just very solid, very disciplined, and they did a lot of tricky stuff, but not silly tricky. Mm-hmm. And, it was kind of needed because they don't have the talent. I always feel like you do that. If you don't have the talent, you got to go a little tricky. And they just very, very good team. But we ended up beating them. And then we played the Panthers again. So it was curb stomped them. 41 points. 32 points first time we played them. 41 points the second time. They're a bad team. Just bad. I can't say it enough. Makes me feel good to say it too.
I know. I would love to go see us whoop up on them.
Yeah.
Next season. But the second game, right around my due date, so we can't even do it.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, so Atlanta's horrible, and they got rid of the best player on their team.
They got freaking Marcus Mariota.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yes. So besides that, a number of things stood out to me. One, Suckup missed a lot more field goals than I remember. Yeah, he was not solid. He missed like easy chip shot ones. You're like, oh man.
Well, that's why we got rid of Matt Gay.
I know.
I mean, he couldn't make it between the 40 and the 50.
Yes. Players who really stood out, who throughout the whole season, the number one on defense was Suh. Every game he was there. He was a playmaker. Again, I've said this before. He just doesn't make mistakes. He's not getting pushed out of the way. He's not, running the wrong way or falling down and
falling for some trickery.
Right. He's a very solid player again, and I'm telling you, I hope this Akeem Hicks can at least bring something equivalent, because I think missing Suh is going to be bigger than everybody's expecting. Mike Edwards was just everywhere. I love him. Yeah,
I know. He had like 4 interceptions,
in
2
one
in one game. Yeah.
Yeah. He had 2 pick sixes in one game against Atlanta. And he just seems to be around the ball all the time. And that brings me to another guy, Winfield. Winfield is just amazing. That guy, probably the best person we've drafted besides Vita, since Light's been here. I mean, he's a diamond in the rough. I don't know how everybody else missed on him, but Winfield is just outstanding.
Didn't we get him in like the second?
Second or third. I mean, it was it was way too late. He should have been a first rounder. He's just great. But on offense, Mike Evans, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It is amazing. He's not flashy. He doesn't get a whole lot of yards after the catch. It's basically just throw the ball, catch it, fall down. Throw the ball, catch it, tackle. Throw the ball, catch it, out of bounds.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think fans, there's not a whole lot of like really highlight stuff there. So, it doesn't get chopped up and shown on NFL Network and everything. So a lot of people in the NFL, they know of Mike Evans and they've heard of his stats and everything, but they just don't, man, every single game, it's just like, 15-yard pass here, 20-yard pass here, 30-yard pass here. Just all game. I mean, he just doesn't have bad games that much. And, he's an amazing player. Amazing. And some of his catches were just incredible. And he had some really, really good games too. Gronk, I had him listed as a key player that really stood out. Yeah, we just leaned on him a lot. It seems like Gronk was if Mike Evans wasn't open, Godwin wasn't open, throw it to Gronk. And then we had plays that were specifically designed for Gronk. But just in the blocking game, he was so important in that.
I think he's Tom Brady's crutch too.
Yeah.
Like they're so comfortable with each other. It's just easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he doesn't drop the ball a whole lot. Mm-mm. And he had a couple games where he didn't perform too well. He dropped passes, but a lot of times, he made some good catches. But his thing again is just, when he catches the ball, he's getting another 10 yards. Mm-hmm. And there's no getting around that.
You got to bring 3 guys.
You got to. And I can't tell you how many times you saw one guy just hanging on him and him just walking down the field. Yeah. Just wait for the other guys to come gang up on him. But then Godwin, Godwin, when he got hurt, you just noticed it on the field. For the rest of the season, it was just like, Cyril Grayson and Johnson, they stepped up. Matter of fact, Cyril Grayson won a game for us. He was just really good. You've written it down. These guys stepped up, and on any other team, the Jets game, Week 17. That was Cyril Grayson that won us that game. On any other team, these guys would be starters. Mm-hmm. And they do good when you put them in, but they're not Godwin, Gronkowski, or Mike Evans. Antonio Brown, he didn't really do a whole lot for us last year. He had 2 good games. One, the Miami game, and then the Dallas game, Week 1. He kind of popped in those 2 games. Other than that, he wasn't much of a factor. It didn't really hurt us to lose him that much. But then you've got the backups that I said, I said that a lot last year, that most of our backups could be starters on any other team. Desir, he played great when he was in there. Cockrell, outstanding stuff. These guys were flying all over the field, batting balls down, getting interceptions, making great tackles. Nelson, Nelson doesn't get a whole lot of playing time. He plays maybe 20% of the snaps.
He's very effective when he's in there.
Very effective when he's in there. Same with Nacho. Mm-hmm. These guys would be starters on any other team. But then some of the bad stuff is our tackling. And I bitched about that. I've been bitching about that for 3 years now. Just don't like our tackling.
How long have we been doing a podcast?
Yeah, true. I think ever since we've been doing this podcast, I've been complaining about it. But there was not one single big hit tackle all season. Not one.
But don't you feel like that's kind of endemic of the NFL?
Yes, it's definitely
so few teams.
Yeah. It definitely is a thing they're cutting out and all that good stuff. But it's, it seems like there's always, every week on every team, there's at least one good hit, one good solid tackle, where you decleat the guy. We didn't have any. None. The only ones that I would even consider good solid hit tackles we'd get on the quarterback, like Golston or Nelson or Suh or Vita would bust through the line and get a good hit on the quarterback. That's it. All of our other tackles are arm tackles or, these alligator rolls, and it's just like, and because of that, we miss a lot of tackles. Just not a big fan of our tackling. So one thing I do not like about Bowles and his system is they just don't emphasize tackling enough. Although he did say this year that tackling was their biggest issue. He said that in a press conference a couple weeks ago. And I was like, yes, yes.
He's done an interview, like a 40-minute sit down with Joe Bucs fan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Need to listen to that one.
Mm-hmm. Our kick and punt returns were horrible. Especially our kick returns.
That's been a problem for years, I feel like. Who was the last good returner we have? Can you name him?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. Our blocking was a lot better, but just our runners are just not doing anything back there.
It's like they're scared to come out. That's how I feel.
They're thinking too hard or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yards after the catch, not a big thing with us with our receivers, Godwin's probably the best at that, but still not, he's not Tyreek Hill. I'm going to say this. all the networks, it was CBS, NBC, and Fox. All of them suck. Replay-wise, man, I would get so aggravated because, it'd be a good play, and I'd be like, ooh, I can't wait to see the replay for this. And they'd show, like, somebody standing on the sideline, just standing there, Now, me and you complain about this all the time. Yeah. But I was just like, especially on defense. So, when the defense makes a good play, they just go, man, let's show somebody in the huddle,
right.
Zoom in on their face or something. You're like, what? But yeah, just way too much time spent on dudes standing around. And I didn't time it, but next time I'm going to do it. I'm going to time how much time is wasted showing people just standing there. And they're constantly zooming in. They zoom right in on these guys just standing there. You're like, how close do you need to get to somebody? But they'll like a guy will make a play and he'll go to do a celebration, and instead of showing like the whole celebration, they'll zoom in on his face, and he's out there dancing or doing some type of crazy celebration, and they zoom in on his face, and you're like,
you're wanting to see the moves.
I'm wanting to see the moves. The guy practiced that for weeks.
He's probably mad. He was telling his mama the whole time before the game, Mom, watch me.
Yeah, yes. And his teammates, the teammates usually run out there and help him celebrate and everything. You don't get to see that because they're zooming in on some dude's face. 25 seconds total all season long. That's how much they showed the cheerleaders. 25 seconds.
A travesty.
Travesty, man. These girls work hard. Girls and guys. 4 minutes and 44 seconds of crowd shots. 2 minutes.
The whole season?
Yes.
That's a lot less than I thought it would be.
Yeah. 2 minutes and 18 seconds of stadium shots, where they do like shots of the stadium overhead or whatnot. So that's what I took away from rewatching all those games. It was fun. I really needed it because there hasn't been hardly any football news. It was weird. It was like at the beginning of free agency, it was like all this stuff. And then ever since, it's just been kind of bleh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And the stuff that's coming out is not good news.
Like the Deshaun Watson stuff?
That, like Sue. I don't know. The Deshaun Watson stuff makes me laugh. So,
yeah.
Like,
they're having a hearing today, so we're anxiously awaiting to see how long his suspension is going to be.
But it may continue tomorrow.
Yeah, it probably will.
I've looked on Twitter. I didn't see anything, so I don't.
It's going to be a year, at least. They're talking about it's going to be indefinite, but a minimum for a year.
The Browns paid all that money.
Browns, man,
and they can't get out of it. And then they soured their relationship with their Baker Mayfield, like door number 2. He's like, I don't want to play for them.
I'm sure they can get out of the Deshaun Watson contract. Conduct unbecoming or something like that. Yeah, there's got to be. There's no way they're going to pay that guy $250 million to not play for him.
I don't know.
Jordan Whitehead had an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he said he felt underutilized by the Buccaneers. He didn't like being pulled off the field so much. I will agree with that. But it's not just him. Bowles does that with everybody. The only guys that stay on the field are Devin White, Levante David, and Winfield. Those are the only 3 guys that are on the field all the time on defense. Everybody else gets swapped in, rotated. And they used to do this a lot in the red zone, is they would pull Vita and Suh out and put in Nacho and Golston and, the kind of faster guys. I did not like that. And I'm sure that bothered Suh and Vita. You're like, hey, I want to stop this score. And you're pulling them out. But yeah, on third downs a lot, Whitehead would get pulled out. And he didn't like that. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a baller.
I think so too.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to apologize. Watching the full season, I actually took clips. I started making clips of every time they showed the coaches on the sideline, Todd Bowles or Bruce Arians, and seeing if Jafar,
Merrill.
I'm just going to, I like saying Jadardafar. Meryl in the background. She was always right there. And it was a lot. I mean, I started keeping these clips, but then I noticed she's not just in those clips. She's all over the place. And I think we have a diamond in the rough here. And I want to apologize because, I think that I thought it was a marketing thing they were doing. No, I think she is just like super into this team.
If you've seen interviews with her, like she does not like the camera. Does not.
Yeah.
She's not someone who wants to be like center of attention.
Right. Yes. That's. So when you put it all together, you go, yeah, she's not trying to get in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And it's not the cameras going, hey, get this shot because
or somebody in the organization or the NFL or whatever.
Right. It was just so weird that, she was always, I mean, look at who's our defensive line coach, the female, what's her name?
Lo Locust?
Yeah, Lo Locust. Have you ever seen her?
No.
On the sideline? Right.
Never.
So why are we seeing the strength and conditioning coach? All the time. But no, when players celebrate, she's over there with them.
That's so cool.
Yes. When they do good, she's over there high-fiving them. It's just, cool. She's all over the place.
Yeah.
And she stands by the coaches because she's just so into the game and following it. And yeah.
That's cool.
So,
well, she got promoted. So I wonder if she'll even still be out there.
Yes.
I mean, she's like what is...
Right, and I want to see that. And the women are masters at social networks. I mean, just being social. Rosa Parks, that was her thing. That's the reason why that all happened is because she had so many friends and so many different networks.
Why people were outraged.
Yes, because she wasn't the first one to do that, but it was because she was just so socially connected that it caused a huge disturbance. That's how I feel with this Jadardafar, Meryl. She just seems to really be into everybody on this team, the coaches, the players, and when you got somebody like that, it means a lot. Mm-hmm. Somebody cares about you. You're not just a number, Wow,
Ralph, I didn't even know this was coming.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gerald McCoy has been all over the media lately.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he's on all the football shows. He's doing podcasts at NFL Network. He was on Colin Howard, The Herd, all kinds of stuff.
Colin Coward?
Colin Coward. What did I say? Colin Howard?
Yeah. We like the name Howard today. I called Jonathan Taylor Jonathan Howard.
And we spoke about this when he retired or when he was back years ago. We were like, oh, he's going to be in the media.
Yeah.
He's made for this
But
stuff.
I feel like he's late to the party. I feel like the whole sports media apparatus is just getting flooded with former players, especially there's quite a few that have very successful podcasts. Pat McAfee for one, but there's some others. Brandon Marshall is on one. Yeah, there's quite a few. And I'm like, Gerald, you missed the bandwagon. Like, he was made for podcasting. I don't know why he didn't already do one.
Yeah, he has been very slow. But I think he's trying to get, the bigger studio. He wants to be on the NFL Network, ESPN or something like that. I think he's really shooting for it.
Maybe he's just taking time off.
Could be. I mean, he hasn't announced a retirement. He's probably still saying he's wanting to play. But he did say he was on the NFL channel and he was on there with 6 other talking heads. God, I hate that. He just got 20 people on there all chattering over each other. Nobody needs that many people on a show. But he said that he paid $250,000 for number 93 when he went to the Panthers. That was Kyle Love that had number 93. So he paid Kyle Love $250,000 for the number 93. And, he only played there 1 year, 2019. He then signed with the Cowboys in 2020, but never played a single snap with them. He got hurt during the season, or preseason practice in August, quadricep tear. Then he signed with the Raiders last year.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He suffered a knee injury 9 snaps into the first game.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And it was season ending.
That's when you just got to listen to your body.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's always injury prone. But, so he's played 9 snaps in 2 years. I think he needs to go into the media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did say when he was on the Herd, the topic came up with player empowerment, and Gerald McCoy, as far as personnel, having input on personnel, McCoy was all for it, of course. And he said that the Bucs regularly sought his opinion on personnel. He said, when I was with the Bucs, when we would bring people in, the GM would call me and he said, hey, we're thinking about getting this guy. We're thinking about getting this guy. We're thinking about drafting this guy. And McCoy would reply, yeah, I like him. Yeah, I don't know. I like him. I think you should just do that with our guys. They've earned the right. So he thinks that players should have more input on, drafting. And like I said, I don't know if I'm a big fan, but, But I will say this about Gerald McCoy. He has a tendency to say these yarns. He did it with Schiano, when he said that I think it was after the Seattle game, and everybody was talking about the stunts, which was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. Everybody was complaining about all the stunts the defensive line was doing. And Gerald McCoy said that he talked to Schiano after the game or before the next game, and Schiano agreed that they would do less stunts. They didn't. So, I don't know if Darryl McCoy was just, kind of riffing there or whatever, but they did not change their stunting at all. And, it was done with the Schiano thing because Darryl McCoy has done stunts his whole career. And, he never stopped doing them after Schiano was gone. Gerald McCoy loves his stunts. And he's good at them. He's fast and he's very light on his feet. So that's what you need.
Well, this whole thing is kind of silly because haven't we always heard that's been one of the biggest defenses of Gerald McCoy is they didn't have any talent around him. He's the one bringing in the talent. He's taking credit for that talent.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
He should have kept his mouth shut.
He should have been like, they should have asked me who I wanted.
I would have said none of those guys.
Yeah. I would have picked Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, man. I've got a bunch more other stuff on here, but we are running out of time.
Okay. I just have a couple of quick things. So training camp was announced to start July 27th, so less than a month. And 12 practices are going to be open, but only to season ticket members, stadium club members, and other fan groups. So.
Yeah, whatever that means, other fan groups. Yeah, not a big fan of that at all.
Yeah.
And that was funny because I had written, that's kind of doing a little research story thing here about, is the NFL becoming a sport for the elites? We had brought it up during the pandemic, how I did not like how, they were playing and there were shots in the crowd and you could see people and there were people were taking pictures of themselves in these empty stadiums sitting there watching the game. And, these celebrities were there, they were doing it. And you're like, yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. Stadiums are becoming like these new stadiums, like SoFi Stadium. I mean, it's like suites. They've got all these suites and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And, you saw during the Super Bowl and even during the regular season, all these celebrities are there, and you're just like, I remember you used to be able to go watch a game, go get a ticket, $35, whatever, go in, I mean, hot dogs and drinks were always expensive and everything, but you could just go in and get tickets cheap, it was a family thing. Now, good Lord, it costs hundreds of dollars for the nosebleeds. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's impossible to get Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah.
You have to be well connected.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to that story. We'll cover that next time.
Yeah. Okay. That's about all I got on that right now.
Oh, okay. We're going to have our joint practices with the Dolphins are in Tampa, August 10th and 11th. So we got that, which somebody brought up. We can get a race between Scotty Miller and Tyreek Hill.
Oh, we finally do it.
Faster, yeah.
Well, I heard Tyreek Hill loves to race anybody.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
Let's see it, Scotty. Okay, that's all I got.
We had some off-season punishment for workout rule violations this year. Texans coach Lovie Smith, of course, was fined $50,000 due to prohibited one-on-one offensive and defensive line drills. And then the Commanders, what is up with that team? They're just, I don't know, man.
They're going to target.
Well, Ron Rivera fined Jack Del Rio $100,000 for saying some crap about January 6th. And then Ron Rivera turns around and he gets fined $100,000 by the league and they lost 2 2023 OTA practices due to excessive contact in practice drills. So,
wow.
You're like, what is it with that team, man?
Whew. I'm glad it's not my team.
Yeah, right. We don't need those days back. Grant Stewart, linebacker, he had off-season surgery, and I was watching the OTAs and stuff that the Buccaneers were putting on the website, and I kept asking. I was like, "Where's Grant Stewart? I haven't seen him yet." They were showing all the linebacker drills and stuff like that, and I was like, "I don't see Grant Stewart." Then it comes out he had off-season surgery, and he was out for OTAs, and he's going to be out for minicamp. Or he was out for minicamp.
What kind of surgery?
I want to say shoulder.
That's a little scary with a guy that young already having surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not real happy with the training camp being not open to the public. I think that's just not a good move. But then again, they might be protecting Brady.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think they see it as a, Brady he's a moneymaker for the team, and so they just can't. I mean, everyone would be there. I mean, it would be absolutely packed. Mm-hmm. I'd go down there. I'd be down there.
Yeah, you want it. I mean, this most likely is going to be Tom Brady's last season.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to want to get autographs and
I think that's why you just can't have everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully, I just don't want to see this league turn into only for the special people.
Yeah.
It was hip surgery, not shoulder surgery.
Okay.
That Grant Stewart had. Yeah. All right. I think that about covers it all. We are going to see what the verdict is on the Deshaun Watson thing. We've been sitting here waiting for it to see if it would come up, but it looks like they're going to postpone it till tomorrow at least. He did settle with 20 of the 24 women involved. And now the lawyer for the women is suing the Houston Texans, saying that they knew about it.
Yeah, they enabled him. They gave him rooms and
gave him NDAs to sign.
The whole thing's weird.
It is all weird. It's all weird.
I just think the Browns are stupid for spending that much on a quarterback. I think that they deserve what comes to them. Yeah. And I'm just laughing at everyone who wanted to sign the Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Who did not see this? We all knew, the Browns, we all knew this was a possibility before any team signed it.
Very large possibility.
There's probably going to be a suspension this year. So the Browns, I mean, what a gamble. And it's just going to blow up in their freaking faces. I mean, you screw over your existing quarterback, and then you don't even have one. You don't have a starting caliber.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I don't know. It's the Browns for you, though.
Typical. I really thought that they had turned around in the last few years.
I did too. Whatever. At least it's not us.
Yeah. Yes. Thank God.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Hang in there. Mini camp or training camp coming up. That's when things start to gear up and go. July 27th. We still got another month.
It's not that bad though. And then right after that, we get preseason.
Mm-hmm. Only 3 games this year, preseason.
Okay.
Like last year.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll suffer through.
Yeah, we're not going to see a whole lot of our starters in that for sure. All 3 games, I'm pretty sure. All right. Football's almost here, man. Almost here.
Yeah.
And if you got Game Pass or whatever, go and check out the last season. This is fun. There's just so much stuff you forget. Like Vita getting his tooth knocked out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forget about everything. Even midway through the season, I'm like, who we play week 1?
Yeah. Normally, like by the next week, I've forgotten.
Yeah, they all run together.
Yeah.
It takes me about like 4 or 5 weeks for me to forget.
Yes.
That's about my capacity.
But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happened last year. Fun stuff. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucs.